that constituency's also been out in the streets. I mean, here, 3,000 miles away from Capitol Hill, there's mass demonstrations almost every weekend in San Francisco. Lots of campaigns targeting municipal and county governments to get ceasefire resolutions out them, many of which have succeeded. And then very confrontational direct actions. Yesterday, a temporary shutdown of the international terminal at San Francisco Airport. How much of that activity actually has an impact, inside the foreign policy blob in Washington, D.C.?
Right. Yeah, I think it does have an impact. I mean, but it's the question is also, okay, what are the tools that these activist groups are using to impact policy? Elections is one. I think what we are seeing, again, going back to Michigan, I think that campaign, many of these voters are good and, committed Democrats who recognize the stakes of the election in November, but they are so outraged by Biden's policy in Gaza that they thought this was an important and useful tool, an appropriate tool to express that outrage in a way that did not, potentially undermine Biden or empower Trump. And I think that's right. But I would also say in addition to the action we're seeing on the streets, there is also a new generation of policy professionals in Washington, congressional staffers, people who work in the Biden administration and other foreign policy professionals in Washington. I know and work with a lot of them. I am one who take a very different view of America's role in the world, our commitment to human rights. And I think this is why you've seen a number of sign-on letters from members of the administration, staffers, congressional staffers. And I think this shows that these feelings are not just, among the activists on the street, but part of a new generation of professionals who are working in Washington and poised to be the leaders of the future.